Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Weatherman Ocean Blue Sports Entertainment Channel. Live here in beautiful Southern Illinois, Harrisburg, Illinois, home of the Bulldogs. It is the USA, the color red, white, and blue. And on today's edition, we will be going over the Southern Illinois River to River Ohio Conference teams, their football schedules, as they have now been released. In beautiful Harrisburg, Illinois, the temperature is in the middle to upper 60s. A daytime high of 78 degrees is expected here on Fair Week here in Harrisburg, Illinois, Saline County. Ladies and gentlemen, the Salem Wildcats join the Ohio Conference this year. What a lovely addition to this conference. The Salem Wildcats in 2025 finished with a 3-6 record. They were 1-4 in conference play. Yes, that is correct. They were 1-4 in conference play. The schedule for the Salem Wildcats. Week 1, they travel to Centralia. In week 2, they travel to Albany, Illinois. In week 3, they take on Mattoon in their first home game of the season. In week 4, they travel to Harrisburg. In week 5, they travel again to Carterville. In week 6, they host Murfreesboro. In week 7, they host Heron. Week 8, they travel to Massac. Week 9, they take on Charleston. My record prediction for the Salem Wildcats, I predict that they finish 4-5 on the season with a 2-3 conference record. That's right. You heard me. Now, we move on to the Heron Tigers schedule. In 2025, the Heron Tigers were a disappointing season, and they hope to improve this year. As in 2025, they finished 0-9 on the season. They finished 0-4 in conference play. But can they change that this year? This year, can they change that? I don't think so. No, sir. But will they get some wins? Maybe, maybe not. In week 1, they take on the Benton Rangers. In week 2, they travel to West Frankfort. In week 3, they take on DuQuoin. In week 4, they travel to Carterville. In week 5, they travel to Murfreesboro. In week 6, they take on the Massac County Patriots. In week 7, they travel to Salem. In week 8, they take on Harrisburg. In week 9, they take on a powerhouse, Breeze Central. Ladies and gentlemen, my record prediction for the Heron Tigers, they finish 1-8 on the season with a 1-4 conference record. Moving on to the next team in the Southern Illinois River to River Ohio Conference, we have the Murfreesboro Red Devils, who in 2025 had a record of 4-5 and finished with a 3-1 conference record. In week 1, they travel to Carbondale. In week 2, they travel to they take on Roxana. Week 3, they travel to Benton. Week 4, they travel to Massac. In week 5, they host Heron. In week 6, they travel to Salem. In week 7, they take on the Harrisburg Bulldogs. In week 8, they travel to Carterville. In week 9, they finish up taking on DuQuoin. My prediction for the Murfreesboro Red Devils, I predict a 2-7 season with a 1-4 conference record. The Carterville Lions in 2025 had a monster season. They finished with a record of 10-1. They were undefeated in the conference. In week 1, the Carterville Lions travel to Marion. In week 2, they travel to Nashville. In week 3, they take on Charleston. In week 4, they take on the Heron Tigers. In week 5, they take on Salem. In week 6, they travel to the Harrisburg Bulldogs. In week 7, they travel to Massac County. In week 8, they take on Murfreesboro. And week 9, they finish up the season with Anna Jonesboro. My prediction for the Carterville Lions, I predict that they finish with a record of 6-3 and a 4-1 conference record. Yes, sir, a big difference from last year. But once again, these are all just predictions. These are unbiased. These are my predictions. So we move on to the Massac County Patriots, who in 2025 had a 4-5 record, a 1-3 conference record. Yes, sir. In week 1, they take on they travel to West Frankfort. Alright. Going over the Massac County Patriots schedule once again, where I pick off. In week 1, Massac travels to West Frankfort. In week 2, they take on Vienna Goreville High School. In week 3, they take on Anna Jonesboro. In week 4, they take on Murfreesboro. In week 5, they travel to Harrisburg. In week 6, they travel to Heron. In week 7, they take on Carterville. In week 8, they take on Salem. In week 9, they travel to Pinckneyville. My prediction for the Massac County Patriots: they finish on the season 6-3 with a 3-2 conference record. Yes, that's right. They improved from last year's record. And now we finish with the final team of the conference, and that is the Harrisburg Bulldogs, who in 2025 had their first losing season in 5 years. And they finished with a 3-6 record, a 2-2 conference record. In week 1, they travel to Anna Jonesboro. In week 2, they travel to DuQuoin. In week 3, they travel to Redbud. In week 4, they take on the new addition, Salem. In week 5, they take on Massac County. In week 6, they take on Carterville. In week 7, they travel to Murfreesboro. In week 8, they travel to Heron. In week 9, they host the Benton Rangers. My prediction for the Harrisburg Bulldogs: 8-1 with a 5-0 conference record. Yes, sir. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, these are just predictions. This is the schedule for each of those Southern Illinois River to River Ohio Conference teams. This has been a broadcast of the Weatherman Ocean Blue Sports Entertainment Channel. Thank you guys for listening in. Enjoy the Saline County Fair. Enjoy this beautiful weather. Peace out. I'm out.